And hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Chidimma inobene because nothing pop culture is trending, so shem pezgwake. Shoots will trend until 10 August 2024 when Miss South Africa is crowned, okay? Now, first of all, I want to agree with what Lerato Kganyago said in terms of the Gaten Mackenzie situation. As a minister, it was definitely a careless statement to make. Ukwenye position manje, where he was shouting abahambe. He's a minister, and as a minister, you shouldn't spew such careless statements or accusations. Calling someone a Nigerian, meanwhile they have the South African citizenship, that's a careless statement kwi-minister. Cha thina singasho phela ngoba phela umuntu uyasho ukuthi hayi wena awena umZulu wena asinaba ukhasi nawe ezulwini wakephi yabo. You can say that. I mean, we have freedom of speech. But masuke position thizeni, you can't really say things like that. I mean, that's why they write speeches for our presidents, ministers, and all of that, you know. Anyway, yeah, that statement shouldn't have been published. It was a very careless statement coming from a minister. Nina ningasho cha ningasho ukuthi akahambe akayekuba ekhombe ningasho. I'm not saying nisho, I'm saying ukuthi ningasho, but that statement coming from a minister, no. Now I feel as this whole debate has definitely taken a sharp curve, a curve that I really not a fan of. Now it's driving some people to call out South Africans for being xenophobic. Some, I do understand where they're coming from because of some of the comments that I also read, but abanye are just raising factual concerns. Obviously, I don't have a problem with she's this, she's that, but for me, I feel as I don't think she's a suitable candidate because of A, B, and C, and then they are called xenophobic. I'm not for that. If people are raising concerns and it's non-xenophobic, you know, they're just raising normal concerns that if Uzama Zulu were to contest in Nigeria, some Nigerians would. In fact, if I think most of them would raise concern with Zama Zulu Nigeria, how? You know, they would, but now they're acting shocked with how can they be so xenophobic? But people are really genuinely raising concerns with, no guys, we cannot have this happen because of A, B, and C. And some comments, I'm just going to say it. Some comments are xenophobic. Some comments are not xenophobic. It's just people that are raising their concerns. And then we have the other group that are saying, aye, she's not South African because even if her mother was, even if her mother is South African, if your dad is Nigerian in our culture, you belong to the dead side, so she's Nigerian, she must go and compete there. Other people are saying, Trevor Noah, his father is Swiss, mother is Sauda, so that means that whichever no again I go in one is Switzerland. Okay, so that's not entirely true, guys. We'll see if you have the citizenship, you have the citizenship. If you identify as a South African because you were born and raised in South Africa, the only thing you know is South Africa, and if we go on your social media, everything screams South African, you're South African to me. In fact, let me just out myself. The issue that I had with Chidimma competing with a competition, you know, when this started trending and getting traction, and obviously we dive into the story, we go on your profile, in your social media profile, and nothing in there says you are a proud South African girly. Yes, you do say, you know, entry video that I'm a South African, yada, yada, yada. But on your socials, it's a different case. We just see a Nigerian girl who obviously is using her citizenship to enter some places. You know, for me personally, I did not really have a problem with your name is Chidimma, from your dad is from so and so, your mom is from so and so. I don't care. But if I go on your social media platforms and I don't see anything that says I'm a proud South African, but you want to enter a competition where you are representing South Africa as a country, then I have a problem. My only issue with Chidimma is that I think if maybe the mother was really a Zulu girl, a South African Zulu girl, grew up with the mother, She would have some sense of South African in her. But that does not now mean Ugusi she should be removed from the competition because I feel like she doesn't represent us as South Africans. No, she should stay there. But I am not rooting for her to win because this is how I feel. I feel like she's not a proudly South African girlie. Because we did not know Chidimma prior to this, the only reference we have is her socials. And if her social screams, I'm a proud Nigerian girl, and we go in your comment sections and people from Nigeria are claiming you, and you liking those comments and responding to those comments, it gives a different picture. It paints a different picture. Would say, you are a proud Nigerian girlie who is, obviously taking this opportunity that was given to you. It's not your fault that you made it to the top 11. It's not. Trevor, no one, no Helen Zille, no Banbani. But also, I do feel as they also touched on because she's black and all of that, people wouldn't have noticed if she was white. I do agree with that statement. I do feel as yes, we did pick on her because she was black, because we know our surnames. If you are Mkhize, we know Haibo, Hoagetswen. If unhlangana nawe ngeMalawi ngeZimbabwe and you say you are a Khatebe, Haibo, we have Khatebes in South Africa. Yabo. We know each other's surnames, and we know a surname that is foreign, a surname that is not familiar to us. I mean, the smart thing to do as a parent, if you're going to raise your child here or in any other country, a foreign country, name your child, give your child a local name. Name her Zandile. Chidimma, they said it means what of God. I'm definitely sure you can translate that name to a Zulu name. And then Mengenaija, or you guys in Gama family gatherings or whatever, when you're introducing your child, you say, this is Chidimma, but it's idea you understand, so that you avoid all of this from happening, because her name did sell her out. Her name sold her out. If you are in any foreign country, try and adjust to the local names. Almost every name can be translated into a different language. Now, when people are raising concerns of xenophobia and all of that, some of your guys' comments were xenophobic. I do not even want to defend you guys. Some of your comments were xenophobic. That's why I said South Africans that are against this, they're xenophobic. Hate on black hate. What woman. But it's untrue. People really have concerns, like I said, and I'm standing by it. I don't feel like she is a good candidate because nothing in her social screamed, I'm a proud South African girlie, ukuthi kanjani but nothing, there is nothing that says I'm a proud South African girl. I'm not saying maybe I got drawing a little flag, I got in the pads. If you're a proud South African, I don't even need to ask you
Now, I'm not saying xenophobia doesn't exist, but I do believe that some African nationals do try and gaslight us into thinking that we're xenophobic and Afrophobic to make us accept certain things, and then South Africans end up trying to overcompensate by doing certain things or accepting things that are against their will just to try and erase the narrative. Because there's no reason as a South African that if you feel like a Chidimma Vanessa Omwe is not your Miss South Africa, that people from other countries should have an opinion on that, because this is your Miss South Africa. This is someone that's supposed to represent your country. So if you feel like she's not your Miss South Africa, then your feelings are valid. Because if we're being honest, would they accept a Nosipo Zulu as their Miss Nigeria? A Xolisi Lekhatebe as they are Miss Nigeria? But the minute South Africans are against something, it's they're so xenophobic.